right. So Travis here, round two confessional. I feel weird. So if this was like two separate tribals and it was just my team, I would have been like really panicked. Just because after we did the challenge, we were all on call, and I felt like my team was like, first of all, it was 1 in the morning, so I was just not about that to begin with. But they were like really bonding, I feel like, and I just was not in the mood to talk, if I'm being honest. And just they're all in college, I think. Maybe Jordan wasn't, but they were talking about classes and stuff, and I'm like, I can't relate. So um I was getting weird vibes from that, and I just felt like I would have been an easy vote for them. So wasn't a fan of it being two separate tribals. But then the challenge itself was frustrating because Antoinette used like her college dorm toilet paper, which was just such a bad idea because it was like literally never ending. And Emma was like doing two blows into the balloons when you only had to do one. And I wanted to be like, you don't even have to do the second one. Like, there's no point. But you don't want to be the person that says something, especially when I'm already feeling nervous about that team. So I kind of just let things be. I didn't think the time was as great as we all thought it was, and obviously it wasn't. Both teams beat us. The only reason we got second was because one team had someone not show up, so they had a 10-minute penalty, which put them at 20 minutes, which means they actually got 10 minutes. So we really got last place when it came to like the physicality of the challenge. Um, and I'm surprised by that because I thought we were a good team, but I think we just picked the wrong um, parts of the challenge to do. Like I got such a stupid one that I feel like I could have done the other ones much better than mine, and anyone could have did the one I did. It was just moving cups around. So I wish I picked speed. I wish I did the toilet paper one because I feel like that's where we lost the most time. But it is what it is because I guess at the end of the day, going to a vote is sometimes better than not, just because you're solidifying some things with people. And especially in this vote, when I think there's 13 of us total voting, it might be good to make some connections with people that I haven't really talked to. Um, so this vote, I woke up to a message from Jodely saying that the people on his team were like saying they didn't connect with Tim the most. So if it's Tim, I'm fine with that. I have talked to Tim a bit. He wouldn't have been my first choice, but I'm not about to throw my game away for someone I haven't really talked to actually in a few days. So I'm fine with Tim going. I kind of hope it is Tim just because I feel like that's an easy vote everyone can get on board with. Um, People I hope it's not Antoinette. I hope it's not me, obviously. I feel like I'm good with enough people. I think so. 13 people, you need 7 votes. I feel like I'm good with 7 people, and I should hopefully be okay. But no one's wants to throw out a name right now. So I think I misunderstood Jodely when he said that. Um, he made it sound like the vote was Tim, but it was actually just people were saying that they haven't connected with Tim. So I don't think there's actually a name out there yet, which is worrying. I'd love to get something going just because I want to get that over with, the panic and stress, and then just get to the vote and get it over with. But um, yeah, I could totally get on board with it being Tim. How I'm feeling like overall is just okay. So I feel really good with Melissa. We've kind of solidified we're ride or dies at this point. Um, she's like she said she was going to find out what the other people's powers were. I didn't tell her that I kind of already knew. I know what Amanda and Scott have. Amanda has a nullifier. Scott has like a steal advantage. I don't know what Steve has. She hasn't. I don't know if she found out and just didn't tell me yet. But Melissa would definitely be my number one right now. Number two would definitely be Scott. I feel really good with Scott. Honestly, I'd love to get something going with the three of them, just be like a 3-person group. Because Melissa found out what Scott's power was, so she must have some sort of in with him also. So I kind of want to bring up the possibility of the three of us working together. but I don't want to be too forward. And Melissa's not voting this round, so I don't know if that'll be weird to just be like to Scott, oh, let's work with Melissa. But so maybe I'll wait till after the vote and propose that, because it's not like we need Melissa's vote right now anyway. Isaiah's up there. I feel like Isaiah's going to be my person this game that we're good, but we don't talk that much. Like it's just an unspoken level of trust, unspoken level of I won't vote for you, you won't vote for me. So we do have that 4-person group of Jodie, Isaiah, and Melissa and me. And I feel good with that right now. As it gets later in the game, I think like I don't see that lasting. Just because out of the 4 of them, I could see Jodie and Isaiah flipping. Isaiah and Antoinette stayed up literally through the night one night talking the whole time. So that right there worries me that they bonded. I think Corey was on that call. I forget who else they said was there, but that's worrying. If you stay up with someone for 12 hours through the night, you're going to bond and you're not going to vote that person out, in my opinion. So I feel good with Antoinette right now to the fact that I don't think I should be worried about the 2 of them, but you never know. So let's see. I guess right now I feel okay. I wish a name would get thrown out and get this ball rolling, but everyone's quiet. No one wants to be that person. But I'll take this combined tribal over the doubles any day, just because now there's 13 people, so I have 12 people to hide behind. And I think I have a much better shot than I did in the small one tribe or one team vote. And that's all I can think of right now. If you got any questions.
So, in the beginning of the game, you ended up taking the opportunity to become the first superhero at the blind vote kind of thing,
Yeah.
which you didn't know. What was your thought process behind volunteering, and just like what were you what were you thinking? Why did you do that?
Yeah, that was kind of just like let's have some fun. Like if this is how I go out, it'll be a funny story. But if I get some power in this game, it's an easy way to just form some bonds right away. I feel like with something like Big Brother, the first HOH always gets like alliances made with them right away just because no one wants to go against them. So I was thinking if I could get the power right away, if I can be in control of something, people might come to me, want to work with me, or say they want to work with me. So that was just my thinking there. I kind of had a feeling I was going to also get a power with it. So I wanted that. I feel I like having an extra vote right now because I don't think it's too threatening to people. Whereas like something like an idol, people want to flush that, want to get rid of it, or people want it for themselves because they know you have to give up your things if you get voted out. So I feel okay with an extra vote. I've told Jodie, Isaiah, Melissa, Amanda, Scott, and Antoinette. I have a feeling that either Amanda or Scott probably told Steve that. So that's where that's at. And then who else knows? I don't know. But that's where that knowledge is. But yeah, overall, it was just kind of like, I want to be in power first. I want people to come to me and say they want to work with me because they might be afraid of a power that I have. I don't know. But yeah, just from watching Big Brother and stuff, I feel like the person who is in control first, people want to always work with them. So that was just where I was thinking there.
Okay, and you just mentioned another question that I had. You told certain people that you just listed that you had a power. What was the reasoning behind telling those people? And yeah, just basically, what was the reasoning behind telling the people that you told?
Yeah. So I told Antoinette before results of the challenge just because I had a feeling we were going to lose, and I wanted her trust. I wanted her vote. I wanted her to like feel like, oh, I'm telling you this, like let's vote together. Like I'm not going to vote for you. And I also wanted her to think like, oh, he has an extra vote. I should vote with him. Like he might use that for us down the line because that's what I said. I said, oh, hopefully we can use it down the line together. So like that was just honestly that was just fear on my side of that I might be a vote, so I need to get someone on my side. I told my alliance just because I don't want any secrets, and also Jodely knew because we had a call. He was my very first call, and he was like, "Oh, I played the mini for Ascendance, and the person who was in power always got a power. Did you get one?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna lie." So yeah, I got an extra vote. So he knew. So then when we got on a call, the four of us as an alliance, it's like, I'm just gonna tell them all. It's not a big deal, and I'd be happy to use it for them. But um, I'm not like saving it to use it for just the four of them. Like I'm using it for myself whenever I possibly need it. I told Scott because he was a superhero this round, so I kind of wanted to know what he got. And I feel really good with Scott, so I didn't have a problem there. And then Amanda was also kind of the same idea as Antoinette, were nervous about a vote and how they would vote. So I wanted to tell them, feel like they could trust me. Um, I kind of was planting seeds about like, oh, I hope like superheroes aren't an easy vote. Like, I hope no one just comes after me because I might have a power. Um, so that like Amanda, Steve, and Scott would start thinking the same way, and then they wouldn't want to get rid of me, another superhero, because then that just leaves them, and then they're possibly an easy vote. So a lot of it was just trying to gain trust with people, a little bit of fear of going home, and just wanting to build a bond with someone that I need their vote. But now that it's combined, I just feel like a whole lot better. Did I need to tell Antoinette now? Probably not, but it is what it is, and I trust her enough to think she wouldn't. I feel like she's going to tell people, honestly, but I trust her enough to not target me because of it, which is all I really wanted.
Okay, so after so we're about like 1.5 rounds into the game, and you kind of now have a little bit of an understanding of how the general outline and game function works in
Yeah.
terms of superhero usually safe for the round picks teams, but's not on a team until the vote actually happens.
Yeah.
So you were superhero the first round. So you experienced it. Now you're eligible to be voted, right? How
Yeah.
does your gameplay change from being, safe but voting to not being safe and being a potential vote?
Yeah. So that's why I think I'm most nervous, just because, oh, he has voted. He might have an alliance. He he was safe once. So I just don't want to be targeted just because I had power already, and I have a power. Um, so with the teams changing every round, it's really hard to navigate, and because you have to talk to everyone because you don't know who is going to end up with you next time. And that one round you leave the one person out that you should have talked to, and then you're screwed, because that's what happened with Kevin. Apparently was he didn't talk it to Kira until after finding out we lost, and then Kira had the perfect reason to vote for him. So it's like you walk that thread of, am I talking to too many people? Am I doing too much? To that other side of the line where it's, am I making the connections I need to by focusing on these certain relationships, but then you don't end up on a team with them and then you're screwed, which is kind of how I felt this round. Um, because the people I talked to the least in the game were Emma, Jordan, Steve, Amanda, and Rory, literally. And I would have been voting with all of them. So it's just like, I need to start reaching out to everyone more and keeping like a thin line of communication with some people, and then really focusing on the people that I want to work with, like Scott, Melissa, Isaiah, Jodely, them. Um, but yeah, it's really hard to navigate. You can't really plan ahead like in Survivor where it's like, okay, next vote we could do this. And you can like kind of figure when a swap might be. Whereas this, it's like every single round, you have no idea who you're going to be with. You have no idea what's going to happen. you don't know how many people are going to be safe and just who's going to be safe. So I just need to start being careful with what I say and not doing too much because I don't want to do too much too early, um, because that's always a fear.
So I have two more questions for you.
Yeah.
The first one is something that Nicole has asked in previous seasons, like almost in every single confessional, along with the question of who do you trust the most, which you've kind of mentioned it and earlier. But who are you most threatened by in the game and why?
That's hard because I feel like so I was at the vote for the first one, obviously, and I don't think anything threatening or too crazy came out of it. And with the other teams not voting, it's hard to know where they stand, and that's what makes it also this vote hard. But who would I be most threatened by? I don't know. There's no one that like scares me outright. Maybe Zach actually, because I don't know where his head's at, and he's like quiet, and I feel like our conversation was weird. It kind of felt like very forced. So maybe I'd put Zach as most threatening. Um, maybe also Jordan, because I feel like Jordan is a comp beast, and he also it's hard to tell where his head's at. Like we tell each other, oh, we're not voting for each other, but I could easily see him not caring about me enough to just vote for me. So I'd say Zach and Jordan right now.
And then another question that we like to ask kind of round to round is, besides yourself, who do you think is in the best position to win the game? And I know it's very early on, but right now, who do you think is in the best spot in the game?
I definitely think Melissa. I think everyone likes Melissa. She's fun. She doesn't come off as threatening. Um, this is one of her first games, so I don't think anyone will see that as a problem for her. Whereas sometimes people have played a bunch of games and then they think they're threatening. So I think Melissa has probably made some really great relationships, and that's why I want to keep her really close. Yeah, I don't see anyone like really going for Melissa anytime soon. I think she's probably really great in the comps. Um, yeah, because she was saying to me that she's like, I wish I could have just did this comp by myself because I could have did it faster than our team, and that's how I felt too. So yeah, I think Melissa's going to be really, really good in the end game, and I can already see myself like being like, I don't want to sit next to Melissa in the end because she'll win. But I definitely don't plan on turning on Melissa until very late into the game, if at all. Maybe she won't do much, and then she'll be someone easy to beat at the end. But I can see her having really good connections with the jury already. I think for sure she could easily win this game.
All right, Travis. Well, that is all the questions that I have for you at the moment. If you have anything that you would like to add to the end of this before I stop the recording, you can go ahead and do it now.
I just hope it's not me. I'll leave it at that.
All right. Let me stop the recording.